What is happening, Swanky fam? Welcome back to Discmas. Today we are going to be bringing you the top 5 disc golf disasters of 2022. Before we jump into it, I just want to remind you we're pushing for 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if we hit it, we are giving away this.
We are giving away this Simon Lizotte Grip AX5 bag. If we hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, there's only a couple weeks left, so be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to win this bag. And along with it, thanks to Disc Golf Deals USA, we're giving away 25 discs. We've been adding a disc to the bag every single day of December, and today is a new day, so we're gonna add a new disc. Here's a list of the discs that we have already added to the bag. It's absolutely insane. Whoever has this bag is going to be set for the rest of their life. Now let's pick another disc from this crazy box. All right, getting down to the wire, only a couple discs left. We're gonna find out if this bag can actually hold 25. We have the Prodigy A3. This is in 400G plastic. Feels amazing, really great approach disc. It's also got, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this. It's actually a Kevin Jones bottom stamped Disc Golf Pro Tour champion A3. Absolutely sick, and it's going in the bag. Good thing I looked at the bottom of the disc right there. Don't forget to subscribe again so that we can get there and give away this bag and all these discs. Don't forget also, you can go to discgolfdealsusa.com and use code SWANKY10 to get 10% off their whole store all of this month and all of next month. Be sure to check it out. Also, don't forget, it is not too late to get yourself some Merry Discmas apparel. And let's jump back into the video.
So let's just jump right into this list. At number 5, we have a fun one. We're gonna call this one the Umbrella Save. So this one happened late in the year this year at Green Mountain Championships. So Ricky's throwing his tee shot. He's got his felon in his hand, his hole 14. He steps up, he throws his drive, and the disc, as it's skipping off the ground, it looks like it might skip long OB right. And what ends up happening instead is that it kisses off of a spectator's umbrella that's lying in the field of play, and it ends up landing inbounds, saving him the hole. He would have had a long putt for the par, ends up having a birdie look. Actually incredible. You can sort of see the spectators standing right next to it filming the hole. And this is coming in at number 5 because yes, Ricky went on to win the event, but we don't think this had a particularly large impact on that event. It was just something funny. You know, this is gonna make our list as just a spectator fail. Spectators, don't leave your drinks, your stools, your umbrellas in the field of play. Could have been a huge thing had Ricky not won handily. It was close coming down the stretch, but Ricky did take it down by more than a stroke, so it didn't affect the field of play too much. So that's coming in at number 5, the Umbrella Save. All right, coming in at number 4 is the Elaine King call. Now this one takes us all the way back to April at the Champions Cup, midway through final round. Kristen Tatar and Paige Pierce are battling it out for the win, and in the middle of the round, the card gets word that Kristen Tatar's daughter is too young to be with the card as a caddy or just walking with them at all. And she had to be removed from the card. Now, this was a huge deal at the time. People really thought that this was handled poorly. I mean, we're talking about Kristen's daughter that had come over from Europe. She's relatively young. I think she was like 10 to 12 age. And she had to be removed from her card where her mom was playing. And not at the beginning of the round, right in the middle of the round. Final round of a championship round. I mean, this impacted Kristen's daughter. She was probably super uncomfortable. This impacted Kristen, who was probably super uncomfortable as well, having her daughter removed from the card. It was just all in all a poorly handled situation. We find out later that it was in fact Elaine King in the booth who sent the text down to the card and let them know about the violation, which makes it even more sketchy because, you know, we don't want our commentators to be interacting with the players mid-round. That's something that is just not done in any sport, really. So all in all, this was just a poorly handled situation, and unfortunately, Kristen did end up losing the event on the final hole. She 3 putts on 18, and Paige Pierce comes down with the win. Whether or not those things are correlated, whether or not Kristen was shaken up by the event and that led to her defeat, we'll never know. But certainly a poorly handled situation, which brings it to number 4 on our list, the Elaine King call. All right, coming in at number 3, guys, is one that's near and dear to my heart. It hurt my soul to watch it. It's the Corey Ellis putt at Beaver State Fling. Now, you may already know what I'm talking about, but at the Beaver State Fling this year, Corey Ellis hits a putt. It goes center chains, lands in the basket, and falls straight through the bottom of the basket. Now, it was an unfortunate situation for sure. He handled it like a champ. He just walked up, no questions asked, didn't call a provisional or anything, just tapped out his putt and walked away. Didn't seem like he was all that mad. It handled it with pure professionalism, so props to you, Corey. Not something that I would have been able to do. I would have been raging internally and externally. How can something like this happen? An interview with Jeff Spring later, he talked about the damage that had been done to that course in the previous year. I know Beaver State Fling's out there in Oregon at Milo McIver, and that course had been hit with a lot of weather. I don't know if it was fires or earthquakes or whatever the natural disasters were out there that caused all the damage. But apparently there had to be a lot of repairs to the baskets out there, and this one may have just not received the care that it needed. And so what looked like a made putt ended up costing Corey Ellis a stroke, and not just a stroke, but actually it cost him solo second. So he ended up actually losing money from this one stroke. Unbelievable. And in an interview, in Jeff Spring's interview, he actually said that Corey made the right call to go up and tap it out, because if it had been left up to the TD would have had to stroke him for it, basically, if he had misplayed it or counted it as a made putt. So maybe that's something the PDGA could be looking at for the future. We got to have something where these baskets are more regulated. But yeah, a really tough situation, but props to Corey for handling it great. That's number 3, the Corey Ellis putt. Okay, we're down to our top 2 disasters of 2022, and you guys probably already know these 2 coming up, but let's go ahead and rattle them off. Number 2 is the Nico Locastro blow up at European Open. Now, this one caught social media by storm. It was a crazy situation. So on hole 18, Nico is stepping up to throw his approach shot on the par 4, and it appears that he took too long, and a PDGA official calls him on time. And you probably know what happens next. Nico gets all up in his face, gets very aggressive very quickly, and challenges the official, and then eventually they go their separate ways. And what ended up happening is Nico was DQ'd from the event, and he was suspended from the PDGA for 6 months. He was removed by both of his sponsors, and there was just a lot of drama involving him not wanting to give any statements regarding what happened right away. He did eventually apologize publicly. But yeah, this was just a horrible look for Nico, especially representing the sport internationally. It was at the European Open, and it is one of the most watched majors of the year. So it's just an unfortunate time as well to be caught on camera, just being really disrespectful to a PDGA official just trying to do his job. So yeah, that's number 2, guys, the Nico Locastro blow up. Coming in at number 1, the biggest disaster in all of disc golf in 2022 was the Big Money Skins match. This one was a dumpster fire, guys, and there were a lot of problems here, but let's just go through the event, okay? We've had it hyped up all year as Eagles Crossing was going to be hosting an enormous skins match with tons of money on the line. It was going to be filmed by a professional production company. They were going to have commentators come in. They were selling tickets to attend live. It was going to be pay-per-view. It was this whole thing, tons of money on the line, and it ended up being an absolute disaster. GK Pro brought in an outside production company to make this happen, and the production just wasn't there. The live stream was terrible. There was audio issues, there were video issues. It looked like it was being shot in 240p. It was the live stream was inconsistent in and out, and eventually they just opened it up and made it free for everyone because they couldn't get it to work at the quality level that they had promised everyone. And props to them for doing that. Props to them for making it right, because obviously they couldn't in good conscience charge people for the product they were giving them. I mean, on top of that, we had the players even coming forward and saying it was a miserable experience. Even the commentating was a disaster. Luckily, Big Germ kind of saved the day. They had Big Germ and then another announcer with him that knew actually nothing about disc golf. He was a professional sports commentator that looked like, I mean, to our ears, it sounded like he had Googled disc golf the morning of. It was pretty brutal. Fortunately, I do think GK Pro, the production companies, everybody involved has been doing a lot to try to remedy the situation. Refunds are being given out, so no harm, no foul, I guess. But I do think that it's a big step back for Eagles Crossing, big step back for skins matches everywhere, given the hype that was given to this event. Makes it the undisputed #1 disc golf disaster of 2022. So that's our list, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. If we missed any disasters, I'd love to hear about them. But other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Stay swanky.